Hello everyone and welcome to another virtual pet review video. This time I'm going to be reviewing and taking a look at the R2D2 Tamagotchi Nano, which is the Tamagotchi and Star Wars collaboration. And I'm just going to go straight ahead and say this is actually probably most likely the best Nano that has ever been released. Now, I'm not an intense Star Wars fan. I would classify myself as much as of a Star Wars fan as a lot of people, where you kind of just, you've seen the movies, you like the movies, like you enjoyed the movies, I guess, but, I'm not a huge fan. I just sort of know the movies and I enjoy them. So there's an amazing amount of attention to detail in this Tamagotchi. When you start off, you get the "A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away" title scroll, and the Star Wars logo, and I really appreciate that there's such an extremely high level of detail. And there's the sound effects that R2D2 makes, which it doesn't make the usual Tamagotchi beeps. Obviously the beeps of navigating the menu are the same, but, and I'll just play this one when it's refusing food. Instead of the usual like dun-dun noise to show that it's full, it makes an R2D2 noise, and I really love that. There's just such that high level of attention to detail where it just makes the R2D2 noise. It's fairly unique in the fact that it doesn't just have the stock standard Tamagotchi Nano sound effects. It just plays the R2D2 noises, and I really appreciate that. The shell, I opted for this white shell, but honestly seeing the blue shell that it also comes in made me kind of regret just getting the boring R2D2 colour one. The blue holographic shell is so much prettier, and I typically only get one Nano per version because there's no differences between the shells, only the, obviously, shell design. But I'm honestly tempted to get a second one just for that really pretty blue shell. It's just really pretty. But yeah, there's just an insane level of attention to detail. It is clearly made with love. It's a love letter to Star Wars. And even somebody who's not really a super big fan of Star Wars, just kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen Star Wars. Yeah, I like the universe. I get I like the movies. I've seen the movies. They're okay. I wouldn't go out and like, oh, I love Star Wars, but it's definitely okay. But even I can appreciate, as a very casual person in terms of the whole franchise, I can appreciate the love and the consideration that this Tamagotchi has taken into account. All the other Tamagotchi collaborations, they make the same noises, and they all more or less feel the same, just with different sprites and different animations. The Tamagotchi Nano, however, it's got its own sounds, as I showed you. From straight away from the start, it's showing you the title crawl and the Star Wars logo, very reminiscent of the movies. And it's just pretty cool in that way. Another fairly unique thing is that when you go to games, you have your usual games like the button mashing ones. So the games are still like, I guess, skins of the other Nano games. Like you've got your button mashing, you've got your obstacle avoiding, kind of like you're in a spaceship and you're avoiding the obstacles. So that's more or less the same in terms of what games you have. They still follow that pattern that you can get in the Demon Slayer Nanos or the Evangelion Nanos, so the games are still more or less the same. However, there's the question mark game, which I don't have access to because I just started it, but this game, under the question mark, changes depending on what form R2D2 has taken. So in the other Nanos, and I guess other virtual pets, your character evolves from like a child to then an adult. But in this one, because it's R2D2, he just changes forms, and it's him, like, I don't know, for one example, piloting a spaceship, and he's in his little like R2D2 dome there. And the game actually changes depending on what form you have. And that's unique to the other Nanos. The other Nanos, you always have the same allocation of games, and once you've evolved, you don't change back. R2D2 actually does change back, and also he doesn't die, he just gets kidnapped by the droids, so again, that's fairly in-universe. So you play games and you feed it, and depending on the level of care and what games you play, and what, so yeah, this game is that you press the button that it tells you to press in a quick enough time, like it's a reflex game. That's another game that's just standard on the Nanos. And yeah, so it's got obviously the Nano games, but there's Chewbacca. I think it's Chewbacca. Again, I'm not super familiar with with Star Wars as a franchise. It's just sort of got this casual passing knowledge. But yeah, I do like the fact that they've definitely put a Star Wars and R2D2 spin on the Tamagotchi. And it feels more than just the Tamagotchi Nano is just the Tamagotchi Nano, but with a, X franchise sort of skin. You've got the characters from that franchise. This one definitely is a little bit more. The sprites are the same size as they are for most of the Nanos, except for the Pac-Man and the Hello Kitty Nanos, where they're a little bit smaller. And I was kind of worried going into it because the other English licensed Nanos that were English exclusive, like the Hello Kitty Nano and the Pac-Man Nano, are a little bit more simplistic than the regular Nanos. Their sprites are smaller. They're kind of more just like, I guess almost like a cross between a Tamagotchi Mini and a Tamagotchi Nano. Their features don't seem to be in line with Nanos. It seems a little bit more simplistic than that. And I was kind of worried that it would just be that case again. And I wasn't a big fan of the Hello Kitty one. It just seemed less than all the other Nanos that we've had. But this one is actually more. It's from the fact that you have different games depending on which form you're taking. That's super cool. The fact that the sounds are unique. Like, just listen to that. That's so cute. I love the fact that they gave it unique sounds rather than just the standard stock Tamagotchi noises. Big fan of that. So yeah, I love this, and of course, again, it can be used and loved by any language because, like the Demon Slayer ones and like a lot of the Nanos, it's opting for using icons instead of text. So that's very helpful. So yeah, big fan of this Nano, definitely my favourite. So when I usually do, like, I guess my ratings out of 10, usually for the Nanos, I go for like a 9 for both enjoyment and ease of use because I enjoy them. Or ease of use, maybe I'll give it a 10 for all of the Nanos, or whatever I give them, except for the case of the Molcar one, where the buttons aren't sensitive, and these buttons are just how you would expect. They're I guess you could say perfect. But yeah, in terms of my rating out of 10, I'm going to have to give this full marks for both enjoyment and ease of use. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a Nano. You can kind of take it to work and just look after it a few times. You could probably just leave it at home and it'd still survive and you could still get a fairly good care evolution. They're kind of hard to kill. This one, I mean, he doesn't really get killed, he just gets kidnapped. But they're always very easy to use, these Nanos, and you can kind of have a busy life and still you have a perfect evolution, not like a lot of virtual pets where you need to check them every few hours or at least maybe even every hour. This one you can only feed it a few times and it'll be absolutely happy with its life, which is what makes all the Nanos great. But the fact that this one has such a high level of attention to detail and how unique it is compared to the other Nanos, it's a 10 out of 10 for enjoyment. And I was originally going to give it a 9.5. And I was trying to think why 9.5 and why not 10. And I was like, I guess, like, as I said, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. But I had to give it a 10 because if someone is a Star Wars fan, I can imagine them just absolutely adoring this Nano. In fact, if you are a Star Wars fan and you have picked up this Nano, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'd be very interested to see what a huge fan would say about this Nano. But in general, that's my review. Full score, 10 out of 10, which I don't actually give that often. And yeah, big fan of this Nano. Would love to see more unique Nanos. I thought I was feeling a little bit burnt out on Nanos because I've had every single Nano since the first collaboration. And I was kind of feeling like, oh, they're just the same. You got, you know, your animations through the day, which are cute and they're unique to whatever the collaboration is. You've got your games, which are just skins of the games from all the other Nanos. I was getting kind of burnt out. They all felt the same. But this one changed my mind on that because of how unique it is. And I'd love to see more Nanos that try to be a little bit more than just skins of the other Nanos. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the R2D2 Tamagotchi Nano. Would love to see more like this that are more unique and are love letters to their franchise that they're collaborating with. Let me know your thoughts about Nanos and Star Wars Nanos in general in the comments, and maybe one day I'll do a video with the R2D2 Gigapets and do a comparison between the two. But I guess that's for another day. Like this video for this cute little R2D2 here. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Check out my other videos, because I do review a lot of the virtual pets and a lot of the collaborations that they've had with Tamagotchi and similar. So subscribe if you haven't already. Check the other videos. Like, comment, subscribe, etc, etc. And of course, I'll see you on the next video. Bye!